Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Green Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Um, this is from rtnews.com. Okay, and as you can see it says labor leader Starmer calls for legislation to outlaw anti-vax campaigners, warns misinformation will cost lives. Okay, and when we read it, you're gonna see how fast they're trying to move with it. Okay, which we've been telling you that is the new narrative. Okay, they're gonna start painting the image that those who don't want to receive this vaccine or those who warn others against it, all right, are close or if not, the same as costing people their lives. All right. It says UK opposition leader. So now, if the numbers spike up out of nowhere, who's to blame? Now you don't need to blame the virus anymore necessarily, but now you can blame people who are against it and say that it's because of you and because of what you're saying and you causing vaccine hesitancy that these numbers are going up and more people are dying. So now we need to outlaw it. We need to, put measures in place to stop these people from expressing, you know, their thoughts on this. You know, it says UK opposition leader. So they don't, they said they're not gonna make laws to mandate it to where they're gonna come and force you at gunpoint to take it, but they definitely can make laws for those, to outlaw speaking against it. Okay, so it says UK opposition leader Keir Starmer has said he is willing to work with the government to bring in new legislation that would ban anti-vax campaigns as the country ramps up inoculations to tackle the C19 pandemic. And when we read through, you'll notice how they're vague with the words in terms of what consequences or what they want to implement exactly. Okay, they make it broad enough to where whatever it is, it can. The point is to get the idea of stopping these anti-maxers, their campaigns. The point is to get that idea out there that we need to do something about this. So it says we have to deal with anti-max campaigns because they will cost lives, Starmer said on Tuesday. Now, if they cost lives, ultimately they're gonna cost the lives of those who make up their own mind and say they don't want to take this thing, right? It's not like if somebody is, pro vaccine and they're like, I want this thing, then they're gonna take it. If somebody on the other hand says, no, I'm not with it, I don't trust it, then they're not gonna take it, and their lives are the ones who's gonna be at risk. Now, unless they're going around saying that because you're not taking it, you're putting somebody else at risk, well, then what would be the point in having a vaccine in the first place if it can't do its job by protecting you against this or this virus or somebody who has it? All right. Is that speaking on ITV's Good Morning Britain program, the Labour leader slammed a recent anti-vaccine protest outside a hospital in central London and said there was a need to act quickly in such situations. If we need to pass emergency legislation to deal with them, I would be quite prepared to work with the government on that. We could pass it in a couple of days in Parliament. The sooner we do that, frankly, the better. Now, if you've noticed, the last few prophecies, mainly the chip, it's tied into this pandemic and this vaccine situation. So, oftentimes, our videos, when we deal with current events and we deal with prophecies, it's going to be breaking down what's going on in the world and linking it to the prophecies that are happening or that are to come. So now, if you prohibit speaking against the things that are happening in the earth right now, which majority of it is what prophecy, then in a roundabout way they are trying to stop us, because if we speak anything relating to prophecy, they can drag it under the umbrella of an anti-vaccine campaign, and they can say nope, you can't speak it, you can't speak on that. If we tell you that these green passports that they're trying to give you is eventually going to lead to some form of ushering in the chip, then they're going to say, well, You're saying don't take the chip, but you're saying this is going to lead to that. So no, that's you can't be doing that. And ultimately these legislations and these laws they try to pass, their real goal is to stop us. They're trying to find a nice clean way they could do it to where they could stop us from doing what we're doing. All right, because the vibration of the works we're doing is very powerful, and that's what's bringing down this system. It's like a cancer. It's like a cancer in their systemic body, and it's constantly growing and getting worse, and they need to find a way to get it out. All right. It says Starmer went on to say that doctors and nurses, including his wife, were finding the proliferation of anti-max propaganda particularly distressing. He also said the NHS was working under huge pressure in the pandemic and claimed it wasn't right for their life-saving work to be undermined by protest groups. The labor leader did not elaborate on the kinds of penalties he envisioned under any legislation for tackling anti-vaccine campaigns. You see? And that is the part right there. He did not elaborate on the kinds of penalties, right? So if you come out and say we need to do something about this, let's pass an emergency legislation to stop, right? To stop these anti-vaccine campaigns. How do you plan to stop them? You know, when they use vague words, more than likely it's because their plans, when it gets down to the specifics, are so draconian that if they were to come out and say it, people would be against it, no matter what the cause is. So they use vague words like we need to stop them. We need to do something about this. We need to have penalties for stopping these anti-vaccine campaigners, right? And so you say, okay, let's pass something that'll stop them. And after they pass it, they say, well, to be specific, what we meant by stop is blase, blase, blah. All right. So it says the British media had earlier reported that medical staff and had broken down in tears after seeing protesters gather outside a central London hospital after Christmas, chanting, "Cove Crown Royale is a hoax." All right. Starmer also called on the wider public to get behind a national effort to vaccinate as many people as possible during the winter months. And as you can see, they're moving very fast with it. They're constantly trying to ramp up the numbers and let's go. We need to get this done, right? It says the UK is aiming to vaccinate as many as 13.9 million people by mid-February, a feat that may allow C19 related restrictions to be relaxed. All right, that's the thing. You want to go back to normal? Well, we got to get that vaccine out. You take it, you good. You take it, you good. But look at this over here. All right, you can read that. I'm gonna do a video on that, but on my backup channel because I already know how these devils work. It says, on Monday, Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced a new national lockdown for England, just hours after Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon revealed similar measures. The United Kingdom registered a daily record of 58,784 cases, so on and so forth. Those are just statistics. All right. And, I don't really, we already know what scriptures, all right, are linked to this, but, I'll just get one real quick. Revelation 2 and 10. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things. Now, you best believe they're going to find a way to protect the chip. They're going to, the same way they're making it to where speaking against this vaccine is a problem, they're going to find a way to do that for the chip to where if you even speak against it, all right, there's going to be penalties and consequences. All right, this is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Now, why is he called the devil? Because he's a deceiver. He tells you on one hand you have freedom of speech, and then on the other he tells you if you mention this, I'm going to take your video down. If you mention this, that's criminal. If you mention this, I'm going to throw you in jail. And then he fabricates things to try and justify whatever he's doing. But those are the same devils that are going to cast us into prison through their deception, through their legislations, through them coming down with great wrath ultimately. But they're not going to catch all of us and throw us into prison. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. All right, now that 10 days is not literal. It could be 10 actual days. It could be 3 months. It could be 1 month. It could be 2 days. All right. But the point is you're going to be there for a time period and you're going to be tried. Your faith is going to be tested. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So this isn't just going to be a regular prison. All right, it's going to be them detention centers, them concentration camps, re-education centers, labor camps, however they want to call it. All right. But the Lord said, be faithful unto death if you have to lose your life in there. Because not everybody that goes in there will lose their life. The Lord might send you in there and deliver you. All right. But if you do have to be a martyr, be faithful unto death, and the Lord will give you a crown of life. Okay. So hey, you can already see, we already see where it's going. All right. We're on what, 5 days into January. All right. And we already seen what's going on. So let's keep our eye out, watch how, this year plays out, man. All right. Because there's a lot, all right, that the Lord has set, for the year 2021, Lord willing, to be the last year for Babylon the Great. All right, so with that, I hope you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.